Greetings and welcome back to the workshop. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. It's fantastic to have you here with us in the workshop today. We're going to carry on with the steam engine, still on the cylinders. Yes, still. We'll get to the end eventually. Now, I really want to get some paint on, like I said in the last episode. Now, there's some tapped holes that need to go on, which hold a cover on before we put some heat-proof paint on the cylinders to protect them from rusting before we bolt them onto the steam engine. Which big milestone that's going to be before we carry on with all the other little bits and pieces to go inside, like the pistons, and to finish the valve buckle, which needs a hole through it. Today we're going to make the plates that go around the cylinder, which usually you have insulation behind to keep the cylinders warm. And I've got myself a bit of 1mm scrap stainless sheet to play with, so hopefully we're going to turn something out on the milling machine. So using the power of CAD, yes, that's cardboard aided design, I've come up with something. Using a piece of cardboard, well, it's thin card, thick paper, I've created this lovely shape here. I'm not going all the way to the top because I like the cylinders to have the black colour here and then the body colour down there. I do like that on the steam engine. And as you can see, I've cut it all out. It's going to sit like that. And obviously, like I said, cardboard aided design. I've sort of marked out where I want the holes. So all we've got to do now is cut this shape out of a piece of stainless and then curve it, which I've marked on here where the curve kind of starts. So as long as we start this side of it, we should be all right. I think I'm going to have to go to my model engineering club and use their roller to roll this. So first of all, we need to get some metal, roughly cut off using a grinder, and then square it all up on the milling machine and then put these notches in. You know, I've cut it with a pair of scissors, but I'll probably put a radius in that, make it look a bit nicer. This bit's flat here, and it is a little bit longer because we have shims on the frames, so that will probably just get trimmed down to size when it's all on. But the holes that we need to put in are the holes to hold this in, which I've marked where I want them. As of yet, I'm not sure what size to do. Take this off, and that should be the piece we need. We've got 6 1/8. 9 1/2. So right, 6 1/8 by 9 1/2 inches. Once it's cut, you then get it in your machine. I reverse the jaws on the vise, and I've got an engineer's clamp at the back there holding this long piece because it's going to try and flop around a bit. And I've put this on as added security so it doesn't snatch it out. And this is a carbide cutter from Armour Tooling, which I'll put a link in the description. Good tools, good cutters. So all we're doing here is just cleaning this face. So when I turn it 90 degrees in the jaws, it's got a straight edge to clamp against at the back. We'll do another cut. That'll do us. Anybody in the sheet metal industry will know exactly what this is. This is a sheet deburrer. In sheet metal and fabrication, this is one of the best tools you could ever have because it'll get rid of all that sharp edge. So you just sit it on and drag it across. Nice. Right, I'm going to turn this 90 degrees and then start machining the sides. Somewhere there. I can't get that bit there, so I have to move the head out. It's not the best cut in the world, but obviously it's nice and straight. That's the most important. Right, so I need to swap these clamps over now and then go to the other side after I've set the DRO to 0 on X, because that now is our datum edge for the other side. Right, to get this bit at the front, we need to slide the ram out. That should do it. Now this means, because I moved the ram forward, it means I can get this little last bit here. Just kind of missed a bit there, just a bit close to that nut. You'll never know. We've clamped the stainless on top of a piece of wood, so it's off here using these, and then to set this so it's square, I've bolted my special plate back on the front of the bed, and then used a pair of these in there like so, there and there. I actually got two of them over here, so I did use two, one there and one there. And then I checked across the back and I'm half a thou out, so I'm happy with that being half a thou out for what we're going to do here, which is basically just notch out these corners. The thing is, it might be setting fire to the wood. So I started cutting it that way, and then I stopped filming because I wasn't happy with how it was turning out. I've actually finished it. It's here, even with the holes in. And what I wasn't happy with is, I don't know whether that's going to come up at all, but it damaged it. It's dented the piece of metal, but it's alright. That's going to be on the inside. The brush finish is going to be on the inside. I'm going to use this side as the painting side, so the little lumps that you can just probably maybe make out there, moving around in the lights you can hopefully see, I can flatten them back on this side. Yeah, I didn't like that setup at all, so I gave up filming in the end. I finished it off though, but I didn't like it. So as you're about to see now on this time lapse, I changed the setup very slightly. I ended up putting a couple of strips of metal underneath the clamps, which hopefully will stop it denting the metal because it's spreading the weight or the pressure over the whole sheet. And before I started, I actually notched out the corners with the angle grinder. The way that I originally did it, I was trying to cut out the whole corner, and it worked, but it wasn't brilliant. So I just machined out the corners, and then once that was done, I machined it down to length. And now, like this one, I need to put all the holes in, which are just 3mm holes, because I've not decided what size bolts to put in. So I thought, I'll go with a 3mm, and that's good enough to mark the cylinder where we could possibly want some after we've rolled it. So let's get some holes in, and then we need to get a roll in. Right, so I've jotted all the hole positions where I want them on my little template. So let's start putting them in. Have to undo that clamp. Right, take these clamps off, and then I'll have to clean all these burrs here off. And hopefully, this time, doesn't look like it. It's not damaged it. Oh, that was quite very nice. Right, I'll get it all cleaned up, all these sharp edges off, and then we're going to have to think about rolling it. Now, if you're enjoying this episode on my bit of sheet metal for the cylinder covers, and this is something that you're quite interested in, then how's about clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be notified when we next release one of these fabulous videos. And don't forget to hit the like button, because that will help this video and all my others share around to like-minded folk who've got exceedingly good taste, just like your good selves. And if you're really feeling generous, then how's about hitting the super thanks down below, or going to my website, links in the description box and in my bio, and possibly giving us a little donation, and that will all go towards the running of the channel. And no, I don't do Patreon. And with that, let's get back to the video. Okay, so I've just been down to the club and rolled them to shape, which it's something like that. And I've got a little bit of footage here of me rolling the second one after setting the rolls up for the first one. But for all those that are about to say that I'm rolling it wrong, I actually have the back roller set for the right radius that I want. So I'm only adjusting the top one. So yeah, there we are. Little bit of footage there of me rolling these at the club. Like I said, that was the second one, so I already had the back roller set to the right radius that I wanted, and I only had to just bring the top one down to get the second one done quicker. It's turned out quite nicely. There's still a little bit of play in them and a little bit of tweaking here and there to do, but now we need to get the fold on this back bit folded out right, because that's going to sit on this bit here. Well, it's just on this edge, so the flat, that's going to sit, if you will, across there, and then we're going to fold this section here up to fill that gap in there. So what you need is you need something the same thickness as the material, which this ruler is, and then get it roughly where you want it. Put your ruler across the two flats, and then this, I'm going to use a scalpel. Lay the scalpel on, and we have a scribe line. Now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, why are we using a scalpel? Well, because it marks the stainless very easy. Well, if you can see that, but we have a scribe line.
A few minutes later.
I actually don't believe this. I've just set this up, pressed record to fold the covers. I folded them, and then I found out the camera didn't record. It recorded like 1 second and then stopped. Unbelievable. You just can't make this stuff up. But I folded them. The other one's folded as well. I thought it were recording. So I use these, which is my magnetic vice bender. Our scribe line there, I lined it up with this blade here, and then wound it in, and then kept winding until we were at the right angle, like so, and then it fits like this, and that's going to fit on there like so. But as you see, the flat there, it's literally to get rid of that void, because I'm going to put some insulation here around the cylinder when it's all painted. But yeah, how annoying that the camera didn't record me folding it. So I have the cylinder block set up on the milling machine with the over elaborate setup, which I used, if you remember, to do some machining on the cylinder, using the angle block bolted to the bed, and then this clamping mechanism that I came up with to hold it down. It's not all super tight, but it's tight enough so it doesn't move. I am going to put in the holes at the top here and the ones down here, because they're near enough flat there. Some silly sausage didn't pay any attention to where the holes were in the cylinders corresponding with these holes. So if you actually look, those two holes there are very close to those two holes. So I can only go down about 6-7 mil, which should be enough because there's no pressure on these. It only needs a couple of threads to hold. So we're going to go down about 6 mil. Yeah, I'm going to have to open these out, but it doesn't matter. I've DRO'd it off there and found the centre. Right, so I just need to open up these holes. I'm going to open them up to a 5.5. Hopefully we won't have any troubles doing this. Should give us a nice bit of play, big old room. Oh. There we are. Now I've had to cut some bolts down. I don't actually have any that I want because the shops are all shut because it's the Christmas period. So I found what I can. These ones we're going to have to do with the cordless drill. So the tape is to make sure that I don't go any deeper than that, because I've figured out that that's about right depth. So there we are, that's another thing we can tick off the list. The plates for the cylinders are now done, all the holes are in, I've got them all tapped to M5, I've just run out of bolts, but I'd like to put stainless ones in, so I'll get some stainless bolts and get them in. The next stage is to get the gaskets for these two top pieces done, and then get them painted. Get some high temperature paint on, and then put them on the steam engine, which is very exciting, because it's going to make the steam engine really look different. I hope this has been an enjoyable episode, as it's the last episode of the year. Next year we'll start a new season on the steam engine build. So with that, I'll see you next year in the next episode. Laters. Nice.